Addressing business leaders at the Carbon Trust in the UK, British Foreign Secretary David Miliband discussed the international strategy to promote British low-carbon solutions overseas. He believes that despite the global recession, it's vital that British companies are at the forefront of developing low-carbon technology.
A sustainable economic future has to be a low-carbon future. We've seen the damage that can arise to our economies from $147 a barrel oil. I think it's very, very important that we understand that the first movers into low carbon are going to be beneficiaries, and Britain is not at the forefront of all industries, but in some areas it's got real strengths, and I think this is a major opportunity for the UK, despite the fact that we're living through a global downturn.
Ambitious targets set by governments around the world have created a huge global demand for products to cut carbon emissions. The value of this market in 2007-8 was over £3 trillion. With UK businesses share only 3% of that, the UK government has now launched a new marketing strategy to sell such products abroad.
One of the fastest growing markets in the future is going to be in environmental industries. We know from our own country, where there are about 400,000 people in green jobs, that this is a very fast growing sector of the economy, or has been over the last 10 years. And I think globally, the imperative of embracing low carbon economics, an imperative that is driven by cost, but also driven by the dangers of environmental damage from rising carbon emissions, means that this is a sector that can help drag us out of recession over the next few years.
With world leaders preparing for the G20 London summit, it's thought the issue of achieving a low-carbon economy will be high on the agenda.
I think the focus of the G20 is going to be on financial reform, on macroeconomic coordination, but I certainly think there's room for it to give a signal about the importance of the low-carbon agenda that requires global regulation, and that regulation comes from the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change, the global negotiating body which concludes its work in Copenhagen in December.
He now firmly feels that looking towards a low-carbon future is vital for countries around the world.
I think ever since the Stern report, people have realised that if you want a sustainable economic future, it has to be a low-carbon future. The costs of postponing action are far greater than the costs of action itself. And I think that's why it's important that we take every opportunity to say that despite the recession, this is a time to go green.
The UK government believes this new two-pronged strategy of developing and marketing low-carbon technology globally will be crucial to creating both jobs and financial security for the British economy.
Trading in their old washing machines, the white goods, and grading those up. And the Germans and French are also operating schemes and encouraging low-carbon vehicles. Now that's